This is how to build a business that grows itself. One of the hardest things about running a business is that you have to wear every hat for every role that exists. And so when you first start out, you are playing this game, this balancing act, especially between marketing and service delivery. You do all of this work, trying your best to get clients, and then you start working on their projects, and then you have to run back and get more clients, and then you got to start their projects, and it just keeps going on and on. So one of the biggest things that has changed business for me has been working on marketing systems, setting up your business processes so that it is growing itself with very little effort on your part. In the last 7 years, I have helped businesses generate over $13 million in revenue online. And that is by using the exact strategies that I'm about to talk about. The very first piece of your marketing system that will help you to get more clients is social media content. Now, before you run off, because it sounds like a lot of work, I want to emphasize that this does not mean you need to dance around like a clown and act all silly like one of the social media influencers that you probably know. This is simply putting out information about your business. So even if you're a lawyer and you think things are too boring, or you're an accountant and it seems too difficult for people to understand, I assure you there is a place for your content. It can be something as simple as this, where you're just on camera talking about your business or what you do in your business. Or it can just be you talking on your iPhone. Like, let me just show you. See, these videos, none of them are fancy. 95% of those videos are taken just with my iPhone here in my office. It doesn't have to be too high production value. I have generated millions of views using videos like that. One of my videos got over 7.5 million views. So please, please, please take your content seriously, and it doesn't stop there. But one secret tip that I want to give you is, if you are going to make social media content, one thing that is going to save you tons of time and get you way, way more results out of your work is focus on your hooks. That can be the difference between your video getting 100 views and the likes are only from your wife and your mom, or you could get 5 million views and be seen by everybody in the world that cares about your industry. So really take it seriously. I cannot emphasize this enough. Do it. And a hook just means like the first 3 seconds of your video on Instagram, or for YouTube, it could be your title and your thumbnail. If you're not sure where to start on social media, I'm going to recommend, especially for this video, that you do some Instagram Reels, because it doesn't take as much effort, in my opinion, as a YouTube video like this. But to each their own. Try to adapt this strategy for your circumstances. The next component that you're going to want to have in your marketing system is paid ads. See, we're going to take the top performers of our social media content, and then we're going to run them as ads on platforms like Meta. For example, one of my videos that I posted on Instagram got me a few thousand views there on the platform. But then I took that exact same video and I ran it as an ad. And so I gave it a daily budget of $20 to $40 per day, which is not very much. And then I proceeded to get leads nearly every day from that same video, from businesses doing hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars for my services. And this is the exact same strategy that not only am I using for myself, but we're using for content agencies, home services companies, CPG products that are selling through e-commerce, and so on. And the reason why ads that look like this, that don't really look like ads, work is because people aren't going on social media to look at ads. They don't want ads. They don't want somebody doing this highly curated pitch to them. They're just going on social media to have fun, learn some information, and just pass the time. And so if your ad doesn't feel like they're watching an ad, if it just feels like they're watching another post on social media, which is what these look like, then they're much more likely to sit, watch, and engage. And then if they like what you're talking about, they're going to click the link on your ad, and then they might buy your product or fill out your form. And that's all that we're shooting for. See, the ad is only meant to get them to click and go to the next step. And so the next step of my recommended strategy for your marketing system is a landing page. This works especially well if you're doing lead generation, but it can also work if you are selling products directly on Shopify, for example. But in the case of a landing page, we structure it in a psychological order that is meant to convince them to buy if they are the right type of person, or it is meant to push them away if they are not the right type of customer. This isn't meant to be a pretty page. It's just meant to be effective. We use conversion copywriting tactics in the page so that it can actually speak to the customer's potential pain points and show them that we understand the problems that they're dealing with. We even show them additional problems that they might not have even realized. And then we point out not only that we are the solution, but how are we the solution? What are our methods? Why should they pick us instead of a different company that seems to offer the same thing? And by doing this, we're able to get them to quickly convert, because one of the biggest mistakes that most business owners make is that when they finally build up the courage to start running ads, they just point it to their website. It's kind of like they get all excited, get their courage mustered up, then they start the project, but then they give up right before they hit the finish line. And let me ask you, what's the point of running the race if you don't even cross the finish line? There really wasn't one, because you're in a race. Otherwise, just go take a jog and have fun. A website is like going to the mall, where people could be coming in from any entrance. You don't know exactly what they're there for. They can browse around, just pick what they want. Maybe they just will leave without buying anything. But when you're paying for the traffic, we don't want that. We don't want them browsing around and not buying anything. We want them doing the thing that we brought them there for. And since we made the ad that brought them there, we know the exact context of the situation. The difference between that mall situation and the landing page is a landing page is more like a guided tour. We know that they signed up. We know what the process is that we're going to take them through. So we control the whole situation. We control the environment. So we can figure out how to get them to buy, and we can take them through the steps. And then if they jump out of the process, we know what step it was that they didn't like. So a landing page is just a single page with one focus, and that is to get them to convert, whether it's for a lead generation or a purchase right then and there. That is the goal, is one thing, get it done as quickly as possible, because we paid to bring them here. And if you think that this isn't a big deal, like, okay, well, I'll just point it to my website and then I'll bring them to my landing page later when I have some extra money. No, you've got it backwards. A landing page can convert at triple or more the rate of a website. So every day that you don't set things up properly, you are making a third of the money. And so you tell me, if your business suddenly got divided by 3, you'd probably be freaking out, right? You'd say, this is a disaster. I have to fix this immediately. I will do whatever it takes. But because you don't know what you're missing out on right now, you think it's not that big of a deal. You think, I'll just do it later. You're operating on 1/3 of the potential. So don't think that it's not a big deal just because you haven't experienced it yet. I'm telling you, once you do it, you'll be shocked. This is the exact type of marketing system that I've set up for many different business owners. And in just a recent case, we were able to 6x the revenue of a content agency using these strategies. And if you don't believe me, you can go to my landing page, go to the first review, a video on my page, and you'll hear it from the business owner himself. He says we 6x'd their revenue. These things work very quickly. You can do it by yourself, take your content seriously, set up your ads, set up a landing page, make sure it's set up properly. If you do these steps, you are going to be shocked at how effective it is. You can do this type of strategy and grow to $1 million a year before you need to change anything. But people want to chase around all the fancy strategies. They want to talk about AI and geofencing and all this crazy stuff when they don't even have a basic landing page, which is really the minimum requirement to grow your business. But now, if you want to get into a little bit deeper on the Facebook ads strategies that are really working nowadays to get high ticket leads, please click this video. You will be happy with the result.